Hello, little story lovers, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to journey into a magical forest filled with wise and wonderful animals. We're about to hear a very old story from a famous book called Kalila and Dimna. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Ho, ho, ho!
Once upon a time, deep in a lush green jungle, there lived a mighty and noble lion named King Farlan. He was strong, fair, and ruled his kingdom with a kind heart. All the animals respected him. But one day, a strange thing happened. A big, powerful bull named Shetraba, who had gotten separated from his merchant owner, wandered into the forest. Shetraba was lost and lonely, and every evening he would let out a huge, booming roar that echoed through the trees. Moo!
Ho, ho, ho!
King Farlan had never heard such a sound before. It was so loud and powerful that it made the ground tremble. The king, brave as he was, felt a little flicker of fear. He thought, what creature could make such a terrifying noise? It must be incredibly strong, maybe even stronger than me. He became so worried that he stopped going out to hunt and stayed hidden in his cave, growing thinner and more anxious every day.
Ho, ho, ho!
Now, in the king's court, there were two very clever jackals. They were brothers, and their names were Kalila and Dimna. Kalila was cautious and content. He was happy with his simple life and didn't like to get involved in risky business. Dimna, on the other hand, was ambitious and smart. He saw the king's worry and thought, "This is my chance. If I can solve the king's problem, I can become his most trusted advisor and live a life of comfort and importance."
Ho, ho, ho!
Dimna went to his brother Kalila and said, "Brother, look at us. We work so hard just to find scraps of food. Meanwhile, the king's advisors eat the finest meals without lifting a paw. I see our king is troubled by something. I'm going to find out what it is and offer my help. This is our opportunity to improve our lives." Kalila shook his head. "Dimna, be careful. Getting involved in the affairs of kings can be dangerous. It's like climbing a high mountain. The view is great, but the fall can be deadly. We have enough to eat. Why risk everything for more?"
Ho, ho, ho!
But Dimna was determined. He replied, "A life without ambition is no life at all. I'm not afraid of a challenge. I'm going to see the king." So Dimna bravely approached the lion's den. He bowed respectfully and said, "Your Majesty, I have noticed you seem troubled lately. You have not been hunting, and you look worried. As one of your loyal subjects, your well-being is my greatest concern. Perhaps I can be of service."
Ho, ho, ho!
King Farlan was impressed by the jackal's courage and concern. He sighed and admitted, "You are right, Dimna. I am troubled. Every day I hear a fearsome roar from the edge of the forest. I don't know what creature makes this sound, and I fear it may be a threat to our kingdom." Dimna's eyes twinkled. He had a plan. "Your Majesty," he said cleverly, "sometimes things are not what they seem. A big drum makes a loud noise, but it's hollow inside. Allow me to go and investigate this sound for you. It is not wise for a king to show fear or act rashly without knowing the full story."
Ho, ho, ho!
The king agreed. He was relieved to have someone so willing to help. Dimna set off towards the source of the mighty roar. Soon he found the bull, Shetraba, peacefully munching on grass. Dimna saw that the bull was big and strong, but he didn't seem aggressive at all. Dimna cautiously approached Shetraba. "Hello there," he said in a friendly voice. "I am Dimna, an advisor to King Farlan, the ruler of this forest. Who might you be?"
Ho, ho, ho!
Shetraba was surprised to see the little jackal. "Greetings," he replied sadly. My name is Kshatraba. I was a working bull for a merchant, but I got lost. I am all alone here. Dimna saw his chance. He put on a very serious face and said, Well, Kshatraba, you are in great danger. Our king has heard your roars and believes you are a threat. He has sent his entire army of lions, tigers, and bears to capture you. But I think I can help you. Kshatraba was terrified. Oh no. I mean no harm. I'm just a simple bull. What should I do? He cried.
Ho, ho, ho!
Dimna replied, I will go and speak to the king on your behalf. I will tell him you wish to be his friend and loyal subject. If you promise to serve him faithfully, I might be able to convince him to grant you safety and protection. Oh, thank you, Kshatraba exclaimed. I promise I will be the most loyal servant the king has ever had.
Ho, ho, ho!
With that, Dimna raced back to the king's den. He bowed low and announced, Your Majesty, I have great news. I have met the creature. He is a mighty bull named Kshatraba. He is incredibly powerful, but he does not wish to fight. In fact, he has heard of your greatness and wishes to come here and pledge his loyalty to you. King Farlan was overjoyed. His fear vanished instantly, replaced by relief and curiosity. Bring him to me, Dimna. The king commanded. Bring him at once.
Ho, ho, ho!
So Dimna led the nervous bull to the lion's den. When King Farlan saw Kshatraba, he was impressed by his size and strength. And when Kshatraba saw the king, he was impressed by his noble presence. Kshatraba bowed his head and pledged his loyalty, and the king welcomed him warmly into his kingdom. Soon the lion and the bull became the best of friends. The king loved listening to Kshatraba's stories of the human world, and he valued his strength and honest advice. They spent all their time together, and the king began to rely on Kshatraba more and more.
Ho, ho, ho!
But this created a new problem. Dimna, who had brought them together, was now being ignored. The king was so busy with his new friend that he forgot all about the clever jackal who had solved his problem. Dimna grew jealous and resentful. He had risked everything to get closer to the king, and now this bull had taken his place. He went back to his brother Kalila, fuming with anger. Can you believe it, brother? I did all the work, and now that silly bull gets all the king's attention. I made him, and I can unmake him. I'm going to turn the king against Kshatraba.
Ho, ho, ho!
Kalila pleaded with him. Dimna, stop. Slander and lies are like a fire. They are easy to start but impossible to control. You will destroy not only the bull but perhaps the king, the kingdom, and yourself. You have done a good thing by ending the king's fear. Be content with that. But Dimna's jealousy was too strong. He wouldn't listen. He went to the king with a sad and worried look on his face.
Ho, ho, ho!
Your Majesty, he whispered, it pains me to say this, but I must speak. I have overheard Kshatraba plotting against you. He says you have grown weak, and that he, with his great strength, should be the true king. He is meeting with your enemies and plans to attack you when you least expect it. At first, King Farlan didn't believe him. Kshatraba, my friend, impossible.
Ho, ho, ho!
But Dimna was very persuasive. Think about it, Your Majesty. Why else would he spend so much time with you learning your weaknesses? He is just waiting for the right moment. To prove it, watch him next time you meet. If he looks around nervously and shifts his weight as if preparing to charge, you'll know I'm telling the truth. Then Dimna went to Kshatraba. He said, My friend, I have terrible news. The king has become suspicious of you. He thinks your strength is a threat, and I heard him telling his other advisors that he plans to attack you and serve you as a feast for the court.
Ho, ho, ho!
Kshatrava was heartbroken and terrified. But why? I have been nothing but loyal. What can I do? Dimna advised. Next time you see the king, watch him carefully. If he lowers his head and gets ready to pounce, you'll know he plans to attack you. You must be ready to defend yourself.
Ho, ho, ho!
And so the stage was set for tragedy. When King Farlan called for Kshatrava, the bull approached nervously, his heart pounding. He kept looking around, just as Dimna had said he would, fearing an attack from every shadow. The king saw this and thought Dimna was right. He's planning to charge. The king lowered his head and let out a low growl, preparing to defend his throne. When Kshatrava saw the king preparing to pounce, just as Dimna had warned, his fear turned to desperation. He pawed the ground, ready to fight for his life.
Ho, ho, ho!
Misunderstanding, fueled by Dimna's lies, turned to anger. The two best friends, who had once trusted each other completely, saw each other as mortal enemies, with roars of fury and betrayal. They charged, a terrible fight broke out, and in the end, the mighty lion, using all his strength, defeated the bull.
Ho, ho, ho!
As Kshatrava lay defeated, the king stood over him, panting and filled with sorrow. He had lost his best friend. Later, as time passed, the truth slowly came out. The other animals began to talk. And the king realized he had been tricked by Dimna's jealous whispers. He had allowed lies to poison his mind and destroy a beautiful friendship.
Ho, ho, ho!
And that, my dear friends, brings us to the lesson of our story. The first and most important lesson is to be careful of slander and gossip. Words can be very powerful, and lies can cause terrible damage, destroying trust and friendship in the blink of an eye. Just like Dimna's words destroyed the bond between the king and the bull. The second lesson is about jealousy. Dimna's jealousy made him do a terrible thing. It shows us that being envious of others can lead us down a very dark path. It's much better to be happy with what we have and celebrate the success of our friends.
Ho, ho, ho!
And finally, the story teaches us the importance of communication and not jumping to conclusions. If only the lion and the bull had spoken to each other honestly instead of listening to rumors, their friendship would have been saved. Always seek the truth and talk things out before letting fear and suspicion take over. So, remember to be a true friend, speak honest words, and never let jealousy cloud your heart.
Ho, ho, ho!
Thank you so much for listening to our story today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more wonderful tales. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Ho, ho, ho!